Good morning, everyone. It is very late. It's 8:14 on this Tuesday, August 2nd. And thank you for joining us. I'm Saquon. Okay, don't forget, you can always watch, listen, whatever you want to do with this live stream later. You can do that through the InForum YouTube channel, or you can always just find that on your favorite podcast platform. A great way to get started with your day before you head out to work. You can also find this just by visiting inforum.com/podcasts and then look for the InForum Minute. Okay, let's get on right with it. Today we are expecting to learn the names of 4 Fargo police officers who fired their weapons and killed a man during a standoff in Mapleton. So this is actually the 3rd officer-involved shooting in our area in just a little more than 3 weeks, just to put that into perspective for you. We also learned from the Fargo Police Department, those officers are also a part of the Metro Street Crimes Unit. They were called to a neighborhood in Mapleton yesterday morning at around 10:30 because neighbors were saying that they were hearing gunshots. Well, police determined that the man was having some sort of a mental health crisis because of a crime that he might have committed before that standoff. Well, about 4.5 hours to 5 hours later, that man came out with a gun in his hand, and that's when officers shot him. So the 4 officers right now are on paid administrative leave, and that's because the BCI is currently investigating that shooting. We will let you know what their names are and who was involved during our evening newscast, because of course we are expecting the update as to what their names are, these 4 police officers who were involved in this shooting. Okay, also right now, deputies in Benson County are looking for people who might be responsible for vandalizing several headstones. And this all happened at a cemetery over the weekend. It was at the Lebanon Cemetery, just near Brinsmade, North Dakota, about 20 miles northwest, of Devil's Lake. 8 grave sites were damaged. That's what deputies are telling us. So if you have any idea who could have done this, you can just call the Benson County Sheriff's Office. It's 701-473-5357. If you're looking for some pictures, we do have that on our website and on their Facebook page as well, so you can find it there. We also know right now some medical examiners are doing an autopsy on a Grand Forks man who died in a cabin just off of Lake Bemidji there. So we learned that deputies found the man's body in this like porch area right near the cabin. This happened last Tuesday at around 1:30, and they are now identifying him as 48-year-old Matthew Scarperud. No obvious signs of trauma on the body, so they're not thinking that this death was suspicious right now. But we do know for a fact that his body is at the Midwest Medical Examiner's Office in Ramsey, and we'll let you know what they find through their autopsy. This is more of a national story, I guess, but we know that Rosalind Robertson is going to be retiring at the end of this month. If you don't know who that is, she is the commissioner of Minnesota's Department of Labor and Industry. So she worked for them for 34 years. She was leading that agency for almost 2 years. She played a really, really big role in helping the governor, Tim Walz, launch that Hero Pay program, something that we have talked about so much on First News, that $500 million pandemic Hero Pay program. Her last day will be on August 12th, and we also know that the Deputy Commissioner, Nicole Blissenbach, is going to be serving as interim commissioner through early 2023, or until, when the governor's first term ends. Also, a big update out of Grand Forks, and it has to do with that Fufeng corn milling plant. Well, City Council members just voted unanimously to move forward with a development agreement. So part of that includes a $5 million letter of credit, which, if you're not familiar with what that is, it basically allows the city to use that money for a reimbursement just in case that plant does not get built. So we heard from the mayor as well, Brandon Buczynski, and he says that even though this agreement is in place, it's not necessary to have in order to build this plant. And of course, this kind of brought in lots of criticism. We heard from many people who live in Grand Forks who spoke at the meeting, and the mayor says, this process could probably take another 9 months before any actual building of the plant gets done once approved. So I wanted to keep you updated on that because I know this is something that a lot of you in Grand Forks have been following very closely. Okay, let's talk more on a national level of things. This is a really big warning almost for many of you guys, but there's a recall right now, and it has to do with a lot of popular protein shakes and bars. So it's coming from the company Lions Magnus, and it's recalling 53 of its nutritional and beverage products because they could be contaminated. And actually, we're talking about this morning, and Lisa and I figured out that we drink these, so it's just a nice little warning for us, a little heads up, so that we can toss those out. But these products were sold in our area, and nationwide, of course, but some of these include, you know, that popular protein, Premier Protein. I'm sure you guys are very familiar with it. I drink it a lot. And then there's the Oatly oat milk that's affected as well. They might be contaminated with some sort of bacteria that could cause, you know, very, you know, cold-like symptoms, kind of like fever or vomiting, urinary tract infection even. So far, no illnesses reported, at least linked to these products, which is a good thing. But if you have these, so if you're like me and you have them, you can just throw them away, or you can return them for a refund. And you can always find more information, guys, on any sort of recalls, especially this one, just by visiting the FDA's website as well. Okay, we also just learned that a Prior Lake, Minnesota man is now being charged with first-degree intentional murder. This, of course, comes after that stabbing spree on the Apple River in Wisconsin. We know that a 52-year-old man, Nicholas Mui, is accused of killing one person, seriously hurting 4 other people while tubing on the river there. And if you haven't heard about this yet, which I'm sure many of you have, but if you haven't, these victims are very, very young. I mean, we're talking from ages 17 to 24. The 17-year-old was the one who was killed. His name is Isaac Schumann. He's from Stillwater, Minnesota. And the criminal complaint, when we took a look at that, says that there was some sort of confrontation between those groups that were tubing. And some people even accuse this guy of being a child molester. But he's saying, you know, and he's arguing that he was just looking for his lost cell phone. And then this group started pushing the guy when he pulled out a knife, but bail right now for him is set at $1 million. So we'll keep you updated on that. He is being charged now. All right. Also, the big news that I think is still going to be a talker for, gosh, at least the next few weeks maybe, Al-Qaeda. The leader and of course a member of the FBI's most wanted list. He has now been killed in a U.S. airstrike in Kabul, Afghanistan. This happened yesterday. He was hiding for more than 20 years, and he took over for Osama bin Laden after he was killed. And they're calling this a really successful counterterrorism operation with no civilian casualties. So I thought I'd pass this along to you. I'm sure you guys already know what this is, but as it was on literally everyone's social media pages yesterday, it's kind of blowing up, but I'm sure it's going to be on your pages today as well, so that I wanted to give you guys an update. All right, Hot Mic with Dom Izzo, 9 to 11, WDAY Extra, InForum.com. He's going to be talking about the NDSU women's basketball team as they leave for a trip to Greece today. So cool. So he'll have the head coach on to discuss a little bit about how this trip kind of all came together. And then he's also going to have the Moorhead football coach, Kevin Feeney, on. And they're going to be talking about Austin Schultz, the latest Spuds commit. And then, of course, the fall camp beginning as well. So make sure you go join Dom. He's got a lot of great guests on, a lot of fun things to talk about on his show, Hot Mic, 9 to 11, WDAY Extra, InForum.com. All right. So I feel like, you know, there's been just kind of a lot happening, and I wanted to point you ahead to a good, you know, feel-good story, right? We have one from our very own Kevin Wollivant. If you missed this, it's on our website right now, and you can watch it. The full video is on there. It's such a good one. Here's the headline. Good Samaritan on rural Underwood mail route helps carrier get mail delivered to farms. And it's just something to, I don't know, something to make you smile, aside from, you know, a lot of the heavy news that we've been telling you about. So I thought I'd point you ahead there, and it is a really good story. I mean, it's by our very own Kevin Wollivant, so you can't really miss it there. But okay, if you didn't know, we do have a deal going on right now where you can get your first 3 months of unlimited local news, weather, sports, whatever it is, just for 99 cents a month for your first 3 months. So all you have to do to get that deal is type in InForum.com/subscribe, and you can get that deal. I don't know how long this deal lasts, so just wanted to put that out there. All right, everybody, we have news at 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10 as well. Remember, the names of those 4 Fargo police officers will be released sometime tonight, is what we are being told by the department. So you can expect that update in our evening newscasts. We also will be back here tomorrow morning from 5 to 7 as well, so hope you can join us. All right, everybody, have a nice day. Stay cool out there. Humidity is ramping up. Bye.